Alright. Oh, welcome ladies and gremlins. Here we are. It's been a while, but we're getting to the hives again. Getting to the end of the season, so it's kind of probably one of the last inspections I'm going to be doing. Just a quick going over, check for brood, check how the queens are doing, make sure the honey's looking good. Probably going to be extracting the rest of that soon. But yeah, it's kind of just a general check-up inspection, make sure everything's looking good. So the first thing we're going to do is have a quick look at the front of the hives. Just see how the girls are doing as far as bringing in honey and all that good stuff. And that's relatively easy. We just kind of come up and look at the entrance for a few seconds and we'll see the girls coming in with big old pollen sacs on their legs. So I know there's still pollen about and they're still producing. And let's go have a look at the other one, which is much more active right now. It's a larger hive. But again, just that quick visual inspection, see how they're doing. Plenty of activity, plenty of pollen coming in. We're also at the time of the year which really sucks for the male bees. The drones, their sole purpose in life is to mate with the queen, and then they kind of just live in the hive and don't do much else. But when you get to this time of year, bees are preparing for winter and they're kicking all those males out. So it's not unusual to see them crawling around or piles of dead drones outside the hive every morning. It's kind of brutal being a bee. But no, everything looks good in the quick inspection. I do see a yellow jacket down there. Yeah, and he's off. But everything is as it should be for now, or at least from the outside. Ah. Okay, as you see, I've got the smoker going there, so we'll give everyone a quick blast. Smoke basically triggers a defense mechanism. A little bit of smoke and they think there's a fire. So bees in the hive will start scrambling to fill their belly with the honey, just in case they have to move. And then once I'm done, and obviously the smoke is cleared, they're then going to pull that honey back where it should be in the cells. But they kind of, pack up, ready to leave, just in case. Look, straps. If I can't get into this, the raccoons have got no hope. I say that, but, I've seen a raccoon that would probably make short work of that. Yeah. Ooh! A lot of propolis up the top here. Actually, I'll drop that queen clip. I wasn't going to break it. I did the last one. There remains of that everywhere. But that looks good. I'm going to pop open the side panels. Not that you can actually see from there. I'll have a look and see if they're filling up these extra honey frames yet, which they are not. This is the one I just emptied. This is a flow frame box on the top. It's kind of an automatic honey extraction frame. I stick a key in one side and crank it with some tubes, and then the tubes will drain the honey out straight into jars. Very convenient. Works awesomely. But we also have a bunch of regular boxes. These ones, medium supers. That's where the honey is stored. These are the brood boxes, the bigger ones on the bottom. That's where the queen mostly lives, and she lays eggs and the rest of the hive raises them. So, alright, where do we start? Let's get into the flow first. And, let's give them another little bit of smoke. Doesn't need to be much, just a little puff. Yeah, this is where it's going to start getting a little spicy. The bees are okay, as long as I'm not doing this. Whew. Right, there's not going to be anything in there. Oh, come on. Queen excluder separated. So, fortunately, I've temporarily misplaced my good hive tool. I'm sure I put it somewhere thinking, oh, that'll be ideal. I know exactly where that is next time I need it. But Thankfully I have a spare. You know, this is why you carry a spare. You know, this box off here, hopefully that's separated now. It's got the queen excluders going with it. Come on, girls. Oh, you girls have gooed that up well. Alright, queen excluder. And it does exactly what it says on the box. It excludes the queen from the honey frame. The holes are designed to be of a size that the regular regular worker bees can get through, but they're small enough that the queen can't. That way I don't end up with the queen laying in my honey boxes. Woo! It's stacked in here. I know. You'll get over it, I'm sure. And basically what I'm looking for in here while I go is see how honey production's going. Oh, that looks like the front of that camera's dropped. Oh, we're okay. So, this is all full of honey. You can see it's all mostly capped. Looks like they're still capping, refilling up there. But that's basically a frame of honey ready to go. Oh, and you are a hive beetle. So, job lost. Where'd that beetle go? Now, bees will take care of most hive beetles, but they can be a pest. But I see hive beetles in there, probably means it's time for me to get my beetle traps back in there. But just for now, I'm going to go through these frames quickly, have a quick look. Most of them look alright, which is basically what I was expecting. Problem not using my good tool, the angles are kind of weird. It's going to take me a minute to get used to them. Ooh, that is a bad frame, just separated. Well, that's going to be fun. That's alright, we'll get to it later. Now, because this is the smaller hive, I'm probably going to leave most of this box on as honey for the bees at the end of the season. Oh, God, it might be easier if I... Excuse me a moment. I'm going to grab me frame holders. Get one of those frames out of there. Alright, let's try that again. I am not a fan of this frame holder. Unfortunately, it's the only one I got currently. But I will fix that at some point, probably. I'll probably mount a static frame holder on there that's just always in place. There it goes. Give me a second. Yes, I know. Oh, come on. Oh, just gone in on the other side. Never mind. deep trick here is going to be making sure I don't drop that frame. It's just a honey frame, but this is an active part of the queen's hive. All these frames are pretty well gummed together. That's the stuck frame. Splits frame. Ugh. You're going to have to bear with me for a couple of minutes while I go through all these. I'm not going to bother showing you every single frame as I go. I'm going to use this frame. Alright, excuse me a second, I'll put this over here. It's going to be safer than get off of there. Should be queen's offset on the. It's unlikely, you know. She's going to be in the brood boxes, doing what queens do, laying eggs. Why? Girls, why are you leaving your dead in here, huh? Get this out of the way. And that is why I don't use that thing. But it was worth a try, just in case. Right, that one's looking good. Well, a lot of propolis and a lot of burcomb in here. Burcomb is where they start building comb where they shouldn't be. It's easy enough to give it a quick scrape as I go. That's more propolis than white. Oh no, it is wax. Never mind. Not too worried about anything that falls down into the hives. The girls will clean that out pretty quick. Unfortunately, because I saw that hive beetle, I was going to do just a quick look in the honey box. I'm now going to have to go through it and make sure I don't have an infestation in there. But I haven't seen any other ones since that first one. I think are probably good. Yeah, looks like the queen could be up here. I see I've got a whole bunch of drone brood up here. Hoping I can find the queen with minimal disruption, because I want to get her marked. You know, I can find her relatively easily without it. He says, knowing full well he hasn't seen this queen in 2 or 3 inspections. She's a new one in here to replace, or it's not really a replacement. I split my hive. Yeah, it's definitely that time of year. All these brood cells. Actually, queens. She's laying on this frame. I don't know why I'm still looking, because I know she's not in there, because I would have spotted her pretty much right away. But you got honey around the edges, and queen's up here laying in the honey super, which means I need to get another brood box on there. But I'm not sure if you can see, some of these cells are drone cells. These are the males, and as you can see, they've started opening them up, and they will drag out all the baby drones. They'll kick those males out before they even have a chance to mature. Looks like this is where the queen was just at here. I got cells full of new eggs, which is encouraging. Oh, another hive beetle. That's 2. Get your butt out of my hive. Beetle down. Come on, girls, keep out the way. Oh, that's a very light frame. That's got to be all brewed. Where are you at, Queenie? She's probably in the bottom box by now. She will retreat. Ugh. But yeah, so the smoke doesn't harm them, doesn't do anything other than trigger a defensive response. They're trying to conserve resources in case they have to move. They will take as much honey with them as they needed, if they needed to, of course. Watch your butts. Don't squish anyone today. Back to the outside of the box where it's mostly honey again. Yes. Oh, and off you go, girlie. Can't get through this no matter how much you try. Another nice honey frame. You get to the outside ones. The population's definitely increased a lot since I was last. Oh, there we go. All the girls are. Well, you can see from there, all the girls are congregating in the back left corner of my hive as you're looking at it. Probably means that's about where Queenie's at. Come on, separate that comb off the wall. Girls, stick everything together so bad. Oh, this is always fun. This is new comb they're building. This was an empty frame. There's a couple. I'm trying to think. When did I last do my? Last inspection I did was 3 weeks ago. And I was given a bit more time to build out, but every other one of these frames that I've been pulling out was completely empty. So I had a full frame and an empty frame. Now they're all full except for this one, which is almost full. New comb, and I'm sure they will finish filling that. That's another full one back there. Put you in here. Come on. Let's get that frame back into the hive. Put your butts, girls. Top of this box. Alright. Yeah. Now we'll go into my beeswax pile. I'll melt that down and treat it at some point. I say treat it, it's not really treatment. I'll melt it and filter it, try and get out any dead bee parts that might be in there. Give me a second while I reset my frame alignment. Main thing I gotta do here is just make sure that these frames are as tight together as possible. But I also make sure I've got clearance space on the sides Especially since I've got to figure out some beetle traps and get them in here now. Where's my board? There it is. Alright girls, alright, we're going into the brood now. This is the one that they're really not going to like, especially if they're going to be getting defensive with the queen down there. Board. There it is. Up there. This is going to be a bit of a mess because I see they've got all sorts of burr comb up the inside of that. Board. Yeah, I'm going to have to clean all this up, which means I'm going to find a tub. Should have one just over here. Oh, I'll give you a quick closer look. Cool. This is the burr comb. You know, they build it outside of the frames, and this was joining the two boxes together. I have to get in here and clean it, but you see that's all full of honey. But I'll scrape that off, and then I'll leave the wax and the honey I scrape off out, and the girls will clean it up. They'll take all the honey out, and then they'll take it back to the hive. Alright, let's get back in here. Let's get a bit more smoke in there because the... There you go, down in the box. Come on girls, out of there. Smoke helps keep the majority of the girls out of the way, but some of them get a little honey dip, some of them are a little enthusiastic and they don't quite want to leave when I smoke. Girls! Inside the hive if you wouldn't mind. Oh girls, out the way. Yeah, whilst I can harvest honey, wax straight from the frames for making candles and whatever we want with, I'd much rather just use this burr comb that builds up over time. Oh girls, get your butts out of there. Making it through. Well, that's never good, and the top of your smoker falls off. Then it falls right into your hive. Girls, what are you doing all out here? Inside the hive. Much better place for you to be. Oh yeah, as you can may or may not be able to see at this time, they are unimpressed with me. But you know, I'm inside their house, breaking their stuff, stealing their food. Let's face it, I think any of us would be in much the same state. Freaking yellow jackets, get out of my hive. I think I've got a nest around here somewhere, and I've got to try and track it down. That seems to be the worst of the buckhorn for now. Now I've got to get inside the brood frames, hopefully without squashing my queen. Yeah, drone count is way down at the moment, which which is awesome. So we like to see. Why is it awesome that your bees are killing each other? Well, you know, as we said, the males, their only purpose is to mate. And if you leave all those males in your hive over winter, it means there's less food to go around for everyone. So the girls, they'll kick the majority of the males around. They'll keep a few around just in case of emergencies. But for the most part, they will all be removed. If they're not willing to go peacefully, they will just ball up and they will kill them. They will kill those males, get them out the way, and they're all going to end up dead anyway, because what they do. Alright, we're in the brood frames here. I'm sure you see these are much bigger than the other frames I was just looking at. And they are absolutely stacked full of honey. Now these frames will always be for the personal use of the bees. So I'm going to tuck them in there and drop this over here for a short while just so I can work. Out of the way, out of the way, come on. Get. Good. Lots of honey. And, oh, maybe if I do it this way. You can see those orange spots and that's what they call bee bread. Spreading throughout the honey. And that is pollen. Well, it's pollen and honey mixed together. And that's what the bees eat as protein. But there's some good pollen stores in there, so we like to see. What is Burko inside there as well? Girls, 2 down, 8 to go. More pollen and honey. Good. Way. Oh, into brood frames. But generally the way the bees build the hive is they'll stick the honey on the outside, eggs and brood start in the centre and work their way out. Oh, it's a nice looking frame. There we go. Double check again, make sure my queen's not in there before I come and show you. Alright. These are worker cells. They are smaller than the drone cells, flatter. They don't stand out. And if you get, I'm trying to get in there without getting my shadow. All that white in there, those are baby bees before they've been capped in. Once they get to a certain